Welcome to the Rhythm Studio, where we're talking percussion, music production, and music technology. I'm Warren Henry. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button and the alert bell so that you can be notified when we're releasing new videos. That said, I am live today with Mark Abishai Brooks at Bus Recording Studio in New Haven, Connecticut. How you doing today, brother?
I'm very good.
So for many of you who don't know, I've known this man a good portion of my music life, and he's going to give us a tour today. So tell us a little bit about Bus Recording, how you got started, typical client, and so on.
Okay, well, I started out following you, of course, because you had your 4-track studio, your Porter studio.
Yes.
And we used to come up there. And then you also had the 8-track. I remember
Yes.
you
remember
right.
that, the TSR8.
Yeah, that's right. And I also followed Carl Smith.
For those of you who don't know, when he says Carl Smith, we're talking about Carl T. Smith, who was the first music director for the R&B group New Edition. So that was both of our inspirations in terms of us getting started in both the recording and music business. It was Carl Smith, pretty much.
So, like, I'm a bass player.
Right,
so, doing sessions, down at Calliope Studios
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
remember Calliope.
yeah, being on one side of the glass or the other side of the glass was fine, but I wanted to see how it works on the other side. The only problem was that there wasn't enough representation of us.
Right.
And, I felt that sometimes we felt like we were talked down to.
Right.
Because we didn't know all the terms and jargon of what we were trying to get with the sounds or whatever.
Right.
And I just felt, you know what? I can do this. I'm an intelligent person.
Right.
I don't need to, bow to said person.
Right.
So watching you, as I said, and watching Carl, and it was like, okay, I bought my first 4-track, it was a Yamaha. I can't remember what model it was.
Going way back on the Yamaha.
Yeah.
Those days.
It just kind of snowballed, learning different things, learning about compressors and stuff like that. I didn't know anything about
Right, yeah, because you got quite a few racks here happening.
Back in the early days, man, I would kill the sound. I would suck the life out of it with the compressor.
Most people do.
Yeah, But I got to learn. I did a lot of reading.
Yeah.
There was no YouTube when we started. Okay, there was no YouTube.
You had to refer to the manual, youngsters.
Right, manuals and trade magazines. Remember EQ magazine,
Mix
magazine. Those are the
Pro
magazines.
Sound News.
Right, those are the magazines that I got, and I would read things. One of my favorite engineers, when I learned how he did things, Roger Nichols. Okay,
Right.
He did the Steely Dan stuff. One of my favorite albums, Asia, and I learned a lot of things from reading, things that he did and stuff like that. So, I'm self-taught in the sense that, I put the time in and a lot of experimentation.
Right.
Okay, because you don't know what you're going to get until you turn
the knob. Right. That's true.
And
that's true.
That's how we've went from tape to hard disk to digital tape, and then to DAWs. So
the typical client coming through Bus Recording are they pretty much private clients in that these are people that hire you to do
all private clients, hiring to do whatever type of project that they needed to do.
So typically, your typical client is what? Arranging, scoring?
Definitely arranging.
Yes.
Scoring, songwriting.
Yeah.
All right. Recording, editing, mixing. You wear many different hats.
Yeah.
It's not like the old days where this person did this, that person did that. As we moved up in time, and of course the technology changed and technology got better. You were able to do a few more things. I went to school for music.
Right. So talk a little bit about how having that music education has benefited you, from a technical perspective as well.
Well, the music education benefited me first from the performing aspect.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I learned to perform with no fear.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Right.
in those early days it was just like, okay, we're gonna do this, and the hands are
Hand
shaking.
to shake.
Okay,
But
this first song's got only 2 changes. Okay, so we can
yeah,
get through that.
yeah.
But I learned to do technically. I learned to do television work because that was part of this part of the curriculum in my school. So I learned to do that and learn how to do recording there as well.
Right.
So that definitely helped in the sense that, okay, I could see it from a musician's point of view of what I wanted, and I was able to tell it or have it manifest
Right.
in the technical sense.
Now, LIU graduated quite a few heavy hitters, like Camille Gaynor-Jones is one.
Right. Yes, you was in my class. Right.
Okay, yeah, she's an
Yeah.
outstanding drummer.
Yes.
You guys really got to get to know her, as she played drums back in the day for Cyndi Lauper and a whole lot of other British groups, as well as John Smith. I think we have
Josh was a guitar player.
he's
right,
a
yeah.
phenomenal
Yes,
musician.
yeah.
I met John Smith back when we were both
Right,
in college,
right.
and he's a keyboardist, producer, a phenomenal guitarist. Look him up on Facebook as well.
Yeah,
But
Craig Rivers,
yes,
horn player.
and Kenneth Copeland was teaching drums
Right,
at
he's
LA.
right. Kenneth was there.
Keith Copeland.
Keith Copeland and Jimmy Heath.
Jimmy Heath.
And I never
Right.
forget my first experience with Jimmy Heath because he came in with a big band arrangement. Now, this was my first time playing in the jazz big band,
Okay.
and my reading was bad.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't up par. I was like, there were 6 bass players. I was number 6.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we had Carl James there.
Okay.
He was the number 1 seed
Okay.
at the time.
Yeah.
because he's playing with oh God, give me a higher love.
Steve Winwood.
He was playing with Steve Winwood at
Yes.
the time.
Okay.
So and I'll never forget. He did an arrangement of Stevie Wonder's "Don't You Worry About a Thing,"
Okay.
and he counted it off.
Jimmy Heath.
Jimmy, he counted
He's
it
a
off.
Great bass player.
Okay.
Modern Jazz Quartet. Look them up. And the Heath brothers.
By the time I'm up in measure 2, the band's already in measure 10. Okay.
Wow.
But he was such a wonderful person. He's like, okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Because I was falling apart.
Right.
It seems, but he was like, don't worry about it. Just try to keep up. Blah blah blah. Count. Yeah.
When all else fails,
Yeah,
count. Keep time.
Yeah, and I think Camille was on drums at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. And she was just like, skinny girl, and
Yeah.
she was just killing it.
Yeah.
But I learned to be a better player, a more confident player. That first year was rough for me. But the second year, that whole entire summer, I woodshedded, man.
Yeah, music school will do that to you. We
Okay.
all have those first year jitters where
Okay.
you get called out by the department head like, sink or swim.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna make it.
Man, I woodshedded, man. I came
Yeah.
back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
My second year was like, okay.
You knew what you
count
had
up.
to do.
Yes.
You knew what you had to do.
all the musicians there were just like, incredible,
Yeah.
And you got to remember, we came out of streets. We were street musicians, literally.
Right.
We were playing. How I learned the song was you put it on the radio,
Yeah,
you put it on the record player,
and then you copied it.
And learned it all by ear.
But it's a whole other animal once you
Right,
get into an educational environment, which was good. So would you say that translated well to your business on the whole?
Oh, definitely. In the sense that, with the whole music thing, there's an organization of how you do things. There's steps and procedures and stuff like that. And you craft out a way of doing everything, that is timely, done well.
Yes.
Okay, lack of words. I can't. But
Right. No, it helps you organizationally.
Yeah, definitely.
And so again, private clients, arranging, scoring, producing, You know.
I've only done the producing thing 4 times.
Okay.
I think that's an absolute nightmare. Everybody wants to be
Really?
a
A
producer.
producer. Okay.
No, that's not fun.
Right now.
It's not fun.
Okay.
Okay, because it's like you're supposed to be in charge of everything.
Yeah, you have
And you
to.
got to, be worrying about this, worrying about that, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I'm like, nah, it's, that's not a hat I really want. I've done it 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I want to be an engineer. I want to be a mixing engineer.
Right, right.
That's what my strong point is. That's what I prefer to do. I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
I like doing arrangements. I like doing orchestral arrangements.
Right.
That's something, because you don't hear much of that anymore.
That's true. That's true.
So I like doing things like that.
Good. Okay, so now in bus recording, now we have quite a, few nice little toys here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna start with the centerpiece of the studio, which is the console. Now this is a.
Okay, this is a Toff ATB 24.
Okay.
Okay, this is created by that gentleman there. And I'm with Malcolm Toff.
Malcolm Toft. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
he was with Trident.
Right, he created the Trident.
ADB.
Right, the ADBs. Right,
Trident
these
ADB.
are Trident
EQs, right?
on here.
Right.
Yeah, the 80 series.
Right. Yeah. He kept a lot of the aesthetic of the Trident board.
Right.
As well.
Yes, exactly. So it's 24 by 8 by 2.
Running Pro Tools.
Running Pro Tools.
Okay.
I tried a few other DAWs in the years I've used. I have Cubase on here too. I have Cubase, but I tried Sonar, Cakewalk,
right,
Logic,
right,
right. And I was just like, okay. I mean, they all work.
Yeah, they do.
But Pro Tools to me just seemed to be the most logically laid out.
Yeah. Now, are you using the Command 8? I see it off to the.
Yes, I am. I'll definitely use it. This is my control surface, for my faders,
Okay. What version of Pro Tools are you running?
Right now, this version is 2021.12.
Okay. 2021.12. Okay. I found I'm almost finding it unnecessary to keep upgrading.
Yeah,
but you already have your workflow.
Right, you do have your workflow. But I've seen some, like the newest one, I think it's 2023.9.
Okay.
There's something on there that I really like, which is the auxiliary IOs.
Really?
The auxiliary IOs you can use when you're dealing with Zoom and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because when I'm teaching, sometimes I teach online.
Oh, I got it.
So right now, how I do it, I use the ATEM Mini Extreme, and I patch it out into there.
Yeah.
So from the analog, so it sounds coming from the Toft into the ATB. You have the A to D converters.
Got it.
In here, and then that's how I stream it.
Okay. All right.
So so from here, I have the Pro Tools. I have other computers with video stuff or whatever. So everything streams through here and then right into Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the KRKs as your monitors, you've had those for a while, right?
Those are the original KRKs.
Yeah, that you had back in the other studio.
Yeah.
Okay,
I've had those since
right.
before the millennium changed.
Yeah,
That's how long I've been working with those.
And those are solid monitors. They're a little bass heavy for me, but they're solid in terms of their reproduction. And
No, these aren't bass heavy like the new ones. These are
really.
Yeah.
Can you attenuate the bass on it in the back if you need it?
No, actually not. But it's not. Yeah,
right.
It's not as heavy as the newer ones.
Because when I was teaching at Harlem Children's Zone, they used to call those the hip hop monitors.
Right, exactly. Right, yeah. But they changed owners.
Oh, okay.
That's why. The guy, what's his name? I think it was John. What's his name that used to own it? From Robinson, I think.
Oh,
originally
really?
from Rufus and Shaka Khan?
The drummer.
Yeah.
Okay, Quincy Jones drummer.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Right.
All right. And you got the Avantones.
Yeah, cubes.
Okay.
Those are great, to get me my little reference monitors. Like,
mid-range,
okay,
right.
more for my low range if I got it right. because it'll tell me, if it's,
I like mixing on the mix cubes with a sub. I've been pushing a lot of people in that direction because you got the mid-range representation and the bottom end. You can't get it right on that to sound good on those, and you're shot.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, those are pretty good. So with 24 channels, what type of EQ? Parametric, or how many bands we're talking about?
We have 4 bands here.
Can you adjust the Q bandwidth on it?
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, I generally use these, if like how I'm mixing now, I'm doing multi-bus style mixing.
Okay.
Okay, that's from Michael Brower.
Yeah, he's big on that.
Right. Yeah.
But he uses a summing mixes, I think, correct?
Right.
Right. Yeah. And
But he
really
does,
big on
but because he does everything in the box though, pretty
Yes.
much now. He's all plugins and stuff like that.
Okay.
No hardware. But when he
yeah.
originally started it, he was using hardware.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Now, so the KRKs, are they powered?
Yes, they are.
Okay, those are powered.
And so are the cubes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when we move over to my left, your right, what's happening here? I see we got quite a few
Ashley
goodies.
EQs. This is PQ26. This
Okay.
is a very old EQ.
Okay.
I mean, this sounds really great when I use it on my kick and snare.
Okay.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
But it's
yeah.
also good for a 2-bus as well.
Mm-hmm.
The JDK. This is the R24.
Right, I have that one.
This
Very clean.
Yeah.
EQ.
This is actually the offshoot of API.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Which you endorse.
Right. Yeah.
Both of these companies.
And then his Clarophonic. This is a parallel EQ.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And this basically gives you your air and your sheen.
Okay. Got it.
Just get, your sound
that
really. I mean,
pull up the
it
type
can
and-
make it crispy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If you're not careful.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And then I have the Audioscapes Pultec style EQs.
Yeah, you
okay?
got lucky. They're hard to come by, boys and girls. Hard to come by.
These guys, I mean, and I've used Pultecs. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, how close? Because I was.
These are the closest I've come.
Right.
To to the actual Pultecs. They're just like really warm, and when you get that low end, it just rounds everything out for you.
Now, I advocate using program equalizers on program material, but are you using them on your 2-bus exclusively, or are you using them to sweeten instruments? How are you using these on the regular?
Right now, I'm using this in my what am I using this in? See, I'm using this in my A bus. Okay,
Right.
in the A bus, that's with all my mids. Keyboards, horns, strings, percussions, stuff like that. And I use that in there to fatten them out.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And as we sweep on over to the left, I'm going to move out of the way. This first thing I'm looking at is this LA2A.
Okay, LA2A, I mean, that's my go-to for vocals.
Right.
Basically.
But before we get there, let's start at the top, because I've
Okay.
noticed these Effectrons. Warren Hewitt, you're looking for Effectrons. You need to get in touch with Mr. Brooks here. He has 2 of them. He's looking for these. He can't find them anyway. These are so valuable.
You can find them on
Not these
Reverb.
not these 1024. I mean, yeah, probably on Reverb, but they're like hard to come by.
Yeah.
But this is a classic. The Delta Labs 1024 is a classic digital delay, but the sound out of it is bar none.
Yeah, this you have to play with because it's not a plugin. You can't
Nope,
sync
it's not
it.
a plugin.
You gotta run. So
And the
Yeah,
chorusing
with
effect,
time,
the chorusing
yeah.
effect in it is great
right,
too.
exactly.
Okay.
If I do use them, how I use them is I'll plug them into a channel. Okay?
Okay.
I'll actually put them in the channel, then send from Pro Tools,
Yeah.
use it as a send into the channels.
Okay.
Okay, that's pretty much how I've been working with my effects these days.
Okay.
You know, well, it's two styles, whether I'm doing it analog or digital. Because if I do digital, then I'll do a matrix inside Pro Tools.
Okay.
Okay. Then we have the Echo Pro.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, this is
delays.
by Line 6.
Line 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything by them is pretty much rock solid.
Rock
you know?
solid. What I like about this, you can tap in your time, so you can hook up.
Okay.
Below that, we have the Lexicon.
I have one of these as well. The MPX 200.
200. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Those are
sometimes
solid.
you just need some solid reverb.
Right.
And then I have a less expensive one below it, the MX 200, same thing. But this one, you can have different combinations of left and right, combinations of stereo, of delays, and stuff like that.
Okay.
You know, so that
Kind of reminds you of the classic Elise's Quadriverb.
Right, yeah.
You know, where
I'd
you
like to
can-
get one of those.
I would
again.
too, yeah. Yeah.
Below that, I have the Meris.
Okay.
And this is the Mercury 7. This is
Okay.
a killer reverb.
Oh, it's a reverb.
Oh, man. It is
Really?
amazing.
Okay. Who makes it?
Meris.
Maris.
Yeah.
What? That's an independent boutique like company or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They make
All right.
pedals and stuff like that.
Okay.
And next to it's
This is 500 series though.
Yeah, 500
on.
series, right?
Okay.
And this is and if I got the other one, I could actually link them together,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
and do them in stereo and, you know.
Oh.
But I've used this on live, like when we were in lockdown. And my wife and I were doing the praise worship. So we were doing it from in here.
Get out of here. Okay.
So I had her voice running through here.
Okay.
You know? So that
Nice,
was kind
nice.
of cool.
Nice.
It's the Hydra. This is pitch shift effect type.
By the same company.
Device. Yes.
Okay.
And then below this is Demeter. This is a real.
This is not Anthony Demeter. The ADL, the same guy.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is
Really?
Wait, this is a spring. The springs
Spring
in there.
reverb.
This is spring reverb.
Yeah.
Really nice.
I still have a spring reverb by a company Dodd that used to be in Utah.
You know which reverb I still have? I bought from you.
No, you still have that Yamaha?
The Cord. Is it Cord?
Cord.
Yes.
You still have
I
that?
still have that. It's in the rack over there.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a fun reverb. This is
Now, what is
also
that?
Meris. This is the CXM 1978.
It looks like a lexicon.
Exactly.
Okay.
Man, the sound.
So you can control these units with that?
No. This is a
Okay.
unit unto itself. This
Oh,
is
really?
stereo, and man, the space that this creates.
Okay.
It's amazing.
Now, is it digital or is it
It's
what is
analog. It's analog.
Okay.
It's analog. You know, I mean, we have presets. You can switch your presets, and then you can customize it
I see.
to the way that you
I see.
you know what you want
I see.
with it. Okay.
Nice.
And then I
nice.
have the TC Electronics, the DVR 250. That works with a plug-in.
Yeah.
You can control it from here.
Yeah.
You know, so
Okay, so this is the reverb
right. This
rack.
is my effects
Now, when we go
rack.
down, this is all of your
Dynamics.
Yeah, top to bottom. I see you have the drummer.
Right.
Yeah. What are you using this on primarily?
Well, this is a gate, so you know.
it's a quad gate.
Quad gate.
Okay.
Right? So you know, sometimes you want to gate your snare
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, to tighten it
things up. Boom. That's
Right.
where you go.
Right. Let me just move back so that the camera can get the goodness.
Okay. This is my favorite. This was actually my first
160.
reverb, the
Yes.
160A.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the classic. Okay. This is what I pretty much learned on. You know.
Yeah, these are good. It's a VCA compressor limiter. I like the flexibility of it. And you know.
Right. It's I call it a utility.
That's true.
Compressor,
That's
because you
true.
can use it on anything.
The only thing it can be aggressive at times, but at
Well,
the
it
same
has the
time you
soft
can't.
knee. Right, that's the whole thing. It
you
has the
can't
over
adjust the-
easy.
yeah.
you can adjust it.
Well, the release time is what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is great. I used to like using this a lot on snares,
Right.
R&B snares
Right,
back
yeah.
in the day. You know,
Right,
New
definitely.
Jack type snares. Really relied on this compressor a lot. But we moved down to the classic LA2A
Yeah.
optical
Optical
compressor.
compressor.
And what are you using this on primarily?
3-to-1. Oh, I never use it in limiter mode. I always use it in compressor mode.
Right.
And it's just for vocals, basically. That's
Right,
what I use it
right.
on.
Because
That's
the
because
attack time is
when
program
when
dependent.
it just opens up the vocals. It's
does.
like things you didn't hear before.
No.
You run it through here.
Those tubes.
Just because of the tubes and the characteristic of it, it just wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta do that again.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that.
And we moved down to the purple. It's
The purple, yes.
MC77.
MC77.
Now, is that
I
modeled
like this better than the 76.
Now, it's modeled after which revision of the?
I think the D series.
Okay.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Okay. But I love it on my snare.
Yeah, that is.
It's just like I'm looking for the sound that gives it to me.
Yeah. Have you ever tried it on vocals?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you got to try
No,
it.
on vocals, I would use this one down here.
Now it's a black line. Is that?
That's a 17.
Okay, that's a FET as
Yeah.
well.
Right. That's a FET as well.
Okay.
And what I love about this one, I'll use this on the vocals, is that because this has a mix knob.
Oh, so you can use like parallel.
Parallel.
Okay.
Right, exactly.
Okay, cool.
So that sounds, wonderful. I can dial it in, have more control with it.
Right.
Okay. Here we have the SSL G bus.
Okay.
Okay. That's
Another
my
VCA compressor.
VCA, but that's my go-to. And as the thing, when I wasn't doing multi-bus, that was always my 2-bus compressor.
Right.
Okay. So everything would get, sucked up a little with it. But since I've been doing a multi-bus, this is on my drum and bass bus.
Okay.
And man, so now I can have my drum and bass bus smacking, but now my guitars and stuff are more open, in the track and stuff like that on another bus. So
now this is a stereo unit?
Yeah, stereo. Yeah,
oh, okay, yeah. So
yeah.
that's an excellent bus
SSL
compression option.
Yeah.
Now, jumping, we've already talked about that black line. How the
Heritage
dial bridge?
Audio.
Yeah.
Okay, this is their version of the 33, the Neve 33609. Okay,
yeah.
so this is the HA 609A.
Okay.
Okay. This I use on my my A bus.
Yes.
I can use it in 2 ways. Sometimes if I was tracking, I might use it for vocals.
Okay.
Okay? Because what I can do, especially if I have a singer that's very strong,
Yeah.
okay, then I can use the compressor here and then have the limiter on standby.
Oh, they're two different
2 separate rides.
circuits.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so my limiter, I may have it at maybe threshold of maybe -1 or -2.
Right.
So that way, if
right.
the singer does go out or
I see.
whatever,
I see.
boom, the limiter will catch it.
Okay.
It has a very warm sound. So I like that. And then below that, we have the R22, which is also JDK, which is API.
Right.
And
Now, what is the technology in that? FET, VCA, or what?
this is a VCA as
Okay.
well.
All right.
And it has their thrust technology on it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's is on their more expensive. It was, I forget the unit by API. I think it's on their consoles as well.
Right. It's on the consoles. I
Yeah.
think it's also on the 2500.
Right.
Right,
Those
yeah.
series. Okay.
Now
do you like using it?
it's a great. It reminds me of the DBX.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a compressor that you can use on anything.
Really? Okay.
And it serves me well, for whatever job that I decide to use it on.
Okay. Now, as we move over, this is the preamp rack. Now, what is this at the top?
Well, that's the recorder. That's the Tascam SSR 200.
What
okay,
is-
it's 2-track recorder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, is it hard disk?
Yes.
Okay.
So I can route into here
Okay.
and record.
So for out of the box
So,
mixing.
well,
If you
no,
wanted to mix outside the
I
box.
mean it's coming from the board, right? So when I don't bounce anything,
Right.
Okay,
Right.
I print all my mixes.
To
Yes.
okay, let me move out of the way of the camera real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can
We're
see.
good. Yeah.
We'll probably
So
talk about.
yeah. So I print all my mixes.
Okay.
Okay. That way I don't get any of the artifacts of the computer trying to computate, breaking everything down.
Right. Right.
This is
Right. Right.
just right out of the analog console, and it's, much fuller mix.
Okay. All right. And I see the Universal Audio 2610 there. Hey.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's quite a piece there.
Um,
Using that on.
Mixing, when I'm mixing, I'll use this for my in my multi-bus. I'll use it for my guitars.
Okay.
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 Tubes and stuff like that.
Yes. Yes.
When I'm recording, I'll use this for my vocals.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm interested in finding out, how did you snag this piece? These are hard to find as well,
Yes, they are.
because that was the one iteration when Rupert Neve had joined AMEC for that very
Short time, right? Yeah.
period of time in the 80s, early 90s. And that is a much sought after piece of equipment. How did you acquire that?
I got it through Reverb.
Really?
Really?
You
yeah.
got okay.
Actually, I got both of them through Reverb. Actually.
So lesson learned. You guys want to find some good stuff, you need to get on Reverb.
What I love about this particular compressor, okay, if I'm recording, I can use this for drums, for the kick and the snare.
Yes.
Okay, and just get that vintage Neve sound.
Right,
Okay, we're
right,
good
right,
with
right.
that. But if I'm using it in my multi-bus situation, I use this because it has a stereo width.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So it will be great for drum overheads then.
So I can widen things
Yeah,
up.
man.
I can
What?
send to this unit and
Okay.
widen stuff up.
It's transformer based.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, wow. Now, I have the ICEs as well. What are you using those on, drums or?
Yeah, this is for the bass and drums bus, and then this is for the guitar. No, for the mids bus with the keys, horns, strings, and stuff like that.
Got it. Got it.
You
Got
know, so they're blocked off in stereo pairs, and they just add the warmness to those signals.
Okay.
And it's just that simple. It's not rocket science in a sense.
Right.
It's like I don't have to do a lot of finagling with the
Right,
knobs
yeah.
because the equipment does it itself.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. I always tell my students. It's like when you're using equipment, you gotta consider it like when you're doing cooking. You can't be heavy-handed.
Heavy-handed.
Okay.
A little goes a long way.
Just a knob here and there, and you're good to go.
Okay.
All right. Below that, we got the 500 series.
Okay.
A lot of this stuff is from my earlier days. So a lot of it is what I call my overkill stuff. So it's like I'm not using it that much anymore.
Because I was saying you have the two 560s, and that's
right. Yeah, that's the
the
right,
500 series of
Yeah.
the 160, right?
Yeah, I'm not doing because the way I'm mixing now is completely different.
Okay.
The way that I mix, maybe 7
Years ago. Right,
It's
right.
completely
Times have
different
changed.
now. So everything, every channel had its own instrument, blah blah blah.
Right.
So now I'm doing a combination of both inside the box and what they call hybrid mixing now.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of people are into that.
So I'm, between using the plugins and then using the analog gear, it's a different vibe. So, but I mean, yeah. So here's the DBXs. This is the V12. This is like the R22.
Oh, those are compressors. Okay.
Compressors, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Thrust technology and stuff like that. So.
Okay. Do you use those often or no?
No, I haven't used them in quite a while. And
Really?
Yeah. So I'm thinking about putting them up on Reverb.
Okay.
And just like okay.
All right.
Then I have DSers. I have the 520 by DBX.
Yeah.
And the XQP 531 DBX. This is a really cool DBX.
Okay.
This, I mean, I've had, what's his name used to have a lot of sibilance in his voice. Super Cooper.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and once I put this on him, it
Got
was
rid of it.
magic.
Got rid
It was
of it.
magic.
Yeah,
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 it
yeah.
was magic with him. You know,
So now the Great Rivers, those are
those I use.
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
those are some serious EQs. Eh?
Yeah, right. Right now,
How do they compare to the Tridents?
they're much more aggressive than the Tridents.
Really?
Much more aggressive
Oh, okay.
than the Tridents for sure. Right now, how I'm using them, I'm just using them in the 2-bus
Okay.
as for my high pass filters, basically.
Oh, all right.
Right. So I just rolling off a little low end and whatever.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not. Piece below it. This is one of my favorite pieces. This is the Saturate
Yeah,
by
yeah,
a
yeah.
group.
Loop Trotter.
Yeah, man. This is a really cool piece,
Yeah.
man. You
That's
know.
a company that a lot of people sleep on.
Oh,
They had a modular mixing
Yes.
console that I was interested in once upon a time, but they stopped making them. But Loop Trotter, yeah. Sylvia Massey talks about them a lot.
okay.
know,
Right. Yeah. She's
really big on that
brilliant.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. This is great on my 2-bus when I just need to add some edge, a little dirt into the sound.
Oh, so now what is the technology? I mean, its
I'm
purpose is
I'm
to.
really not sure. It's a saturation. It's a saturation.
It's almost like
device.
the what was the oral exciter by Aphex? Is it similar to that or no?
No. It's complete opposite.
Okay.
I feel oral exciter makes things cleaner. You know.
Okay.
Okay. Remember.
But this does the bottom end or what?
Yeah, it does. It gets the bottom end in your mids, and it just, just gives it a little more, lack of a better word, dirt.
Okay.
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 On the sound.
Got
you
it.
know?
Got it. Tubes or transistors
I
or
really don't know, to be honest with you.
Oh, you've never opened it up?
No.
Why? You don't-
No, I don't do such things.
I hear you.
I leave that to. What is Clint Eastwood said? A man's got to know his limitations.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, I do not go into my.
Yeah, I always open mine. I want to. How did you make this thing?
Yes.
You gotta open up
Right.
the side.
Exactly.
So now we jump down
Below
to the
that,
line 6.
we have the line 6. It's a pod amp simulator
Oh, nice.
for
nice,
guitars and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So if the guitars, don't want to use the amps that are here,
Yeah.
they can go directly into here, and it's really cool. Below that, we have the Pro VLA, which is by Art. It's a opto compressor, stereo compressor.
Okay.
And, even though the price point is completely opposite of the Teletronics, man, it really has a nice sound.
Right.
I use it on my guitars.
Okay.
Okay. And it brings them out. I'm like nobody's business.
And what type of tubes? I think 12AX7s or what?
I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. You can research it and let me know.
Yeah, I will. I
Okay.
will.
But yeah.
Now, Chameleon Labs is another company that I've reached out to often with no real success, but their equipment is,
Solid.
Yeah.
It is solid. This is
He is the American
VCA.
version of
Right.
Rupert Neve in terms of, he winds his own,
Mm-hmm.
transformers and everything, this guy. But how are you finding the 7720?
I find it very solid.
Okay.
Before I had the SSL,
Uh-huh.
I had the 7720.
Okay.
Okay, and it was doing all my 2-bus duties.
Got it.
So I can move it around, to wherever I need it to go.
Right, right.
It's a VCA compressor, and it's subtle.
Mm-hmm.
It has a very clean sound.
Right.
It's it's a fun compressor. I had 2 of them. I got rid of one of them. But I said, I can't get rid of this one because I'm going to need it for something.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing with the compressors, I find that the way that compressors are made, they bring out the essence of the signals.
Yeah.
Yeah. But each one has its own different characteristic.
Right.
And so you have to recognize the characteristic of the signal of what you're trying to bring out and choose which is the best compressor for the job.
Got it. Got it. So that's our tour. If anyone wants to work with you, how would they get in touch with you?
You can just go to our website.
Okay.
Bus, BUSS, recording busrecording.com. That'll be the website.
Got it. And I'll leave that information in the description below. But one final closing note I don't think we touched on was tell everyone how you came up with the concept of bus in teaching your students.
Oh, of course, like when you're working with your console, you have buses which is an internal pipeline inside a recording console,
Right.
which goes to your subgroups.
Right.
Okay, so, but the whole thing of how I teach buses to my students is that, I ask them basically, have you ever ridden a bus?
Right.
And they say, yeah. And I ask them the question, well, how many people can ride on the bus? Okay, it can be just one person, or it can be many people.
Many people,
Okay?
right.
And then how does a bus get to a particular location? It
Right.
has a route number.
Yes.
So I was told them, right. So you have different route numbers. So when let's say you're in Pro Tools, you have buses and you have all these
routing.
different route numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And
Very clever.
remember, it's, you're sending a signal somewhere.
You're sending it somewhere.
So
Right.
the concept, stood with them, and that's, how I teach it.
Yeah, it's been successful.
Yeah, most
Right.
definitely.
It works. So again, thank you for hosting us.
Man,
I
thank
will
you.
leave all of the information regarding bus recording again in the description below. Feel free to reach out to Mr. Brooks with any questions, as well as if you're interested in attending LaGuardia's recording program.
Yeah,
They're building
music
a
recording technology.
music recording technology program through the City University system. If you're in New York, that is, and if you're out of state as well, we have some of the finest institutions here as well. But this is the man that will be your department head, I guess it would be. You're the head of the
I'm
department?
the director of the program.
Director of the entire
yeah,
program.
right. Yeah, I wrote the program actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the collegiate level. So again, thanks for having us.
Man, thank you.
Okay.
This was a pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
Yes.